Welcome to this video about visual supports. What are visual supports? We all rely on visuals to support us in our everyday life. A visual support refers to using a visual item such as an object, photograph, sign, or picture. Visual supports aid and enhance communication, help to provide structure and routine, improve understanding, avoid frustration, and offer opportunities to interact with others. There are a number of different types of visual supports. Pupils' understanding of visuals generally develops in the following order. 1. Real objects. 2. Small world objects. 3. Photographs. 4. Pictures and symbols. 5. Line drawings. 6. Words. 7. Phrases. And 8. Sentences. Structure and sequencing. Use various visual timetables to support the pupil to structure their day. Some pupils might find it easier to only follow 2 or 3 parts of a routine. For example, you could make a now and next board and have a visual to indicate what is now and what is next. It is often useful to have the next activity as something motivating for the pupil. This encourages them to do a necessary learning activity first. Alternatives to this include first and next boards, which can be expanded to first, next, and then boards. Developing independence in routines. Help the pupil to develop independence in familiar self-care routines through the use of pictures or objects to signify each step. For example, their hand-washing routine, toileting routine, putting on their coat and shoes on, etc. Using visuals to break up the routine helps pupils to learn the sequence of the routine and sustain attention. For some pupils, having visuals to show them what will happen next reduces stress and anxiety, as it adds predictability to the task. Use the visual schedule to help pupils follow the steps necessary to successfully complete a self-care task. You may wish to include photos of the actual materials or object representations, which are known as objects of reference, that pupils use in order to better help him or her understand each step. Starting and finishing activities. For some pupils, it's important to know when activities are starting and, even more importantly, when they are finishing. This will reduce confusion and support their understanding. There are many different types of visual supports you can use. Depending on a pupil's current understanding, you can have an object signifier, a sign, or a picture. For example, to indicate when something is starting, if a pupil is currently using objects, you could use a stopwatch, or at picture level, a go sign. Use the visual with the pupil and ensure that when the activity is finished, the object or symbol is no longer visible, as the pupil should associate it with finishing only. Making choices and expressing opinions. Choices promote independence. Some pupils need support to make choices, and visual supports can help them to choose food and activities. Pupils can be also supported to use visuals to express their opinions. You could make like and don't like symbols, objects, and photos and ask the pupil to place them beside the object or activity that you're seeking their opinion on. You can also use gestures, for example, thumbs up and thumbs down. Processing and expressing emotions. Visual supports can help pupils to express their emotions and tell people how they're feeling during social interactions. You could draw happy, sad, scared faces or use photographs, for example. The use of visuals can prepare pupils for changes and help them to understand that there is a change. The use of social stories can also support pupils' understanding of transitions. Top tips for using visual supports. Think carefully about when and where you'll be using the visual. Introduce the visual to the pupil and explain what you're going to be using it for. If you are using objects, they need to be meaningful and motivating for the pupil. You can start to use photos and pictures alongside the object to support the pupil to transition from object to picture recognition. Be consistent in your use of visuals. Pupils need to see visuals many times to begin to understand their use. Make sure the visuals are clearly visible for the pupil. And make them accessible for everyone supporting the pupil. This is the end of this video. You can view more videos on this channel in the Bite Size series, including other Bite Size Reasonable Adjustments videos.